I'm really excited because that's something that is new to my channel that I've never done. When I was in college, I didn't have a YouTube channel. I just felt like I was in a place where I wasn't growing anymore, and I wasn't in an environment that was productive to my growth. It took me several months of that feeling to finally push myself to be like, okay, we need to make a change. 2025 is your year to find your passion, find what makes you feel alive, and go for it. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. As you can tell, my hair is so much darker. I just wanted to address that because I know it's a little bit of a jump scare. Even looking at myself in the viewfinder, it's definitely taking me a few seconds to adjust. And even yesterday when I got my hair done, I did not recognize myself in the mirror. It has been so long since I have had dark hair. My hair is naturally very dark brown, and I think this is like 1 or 2 shades darker than my natural hair color. Getting my hair done honestly was such a spontaneous decision. I was on the way to the mall with my mom, and then out of the blue I was like, you know what, I feel like going darker with my hair, which is honestly what I had wanted when I had my holiday party, which you guys saw in my last video. I wanted to have my hair darker, but she kept the blonde highlights in my hair, but I wanted to go back to more of my natural hair color. So I visited the person that I usually go to, or who I went to when I lived in Orange County, and I saw if she was available, and she was, and I just went in and we just got one solid color, and now it is so dark. It's definitely taking me time to get used to it. I thought it was like a little too dark at first, and I was freaking out thinking I like made a mistake, but I think it's a nice change into the new year, which is exactly what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Some big changes that are going to be happening, and also talk to you guys about 2 really big announcements that I have been waiting to tell you and have been working on really hard in the background. You guys have kind of heard me mention and talk about it in my other videos, but I haven't specifically addressed what exactly it is, and this is the video that I am finally talking about those 2 things. As you can tell, I'm also in my car, and I'm actually in Orange County right now, and I decided to do this video as kind of like a really casual car catch-up. I think this is going to kind of be like a chats with ICIE, but I have just been so busy lately, and I know as soon as I get back to San Diego, things are going to be really hectic, and this is the only time I think I'm going to have to just sit down and talk to the camera and just update y'all on everything that has been happening, because there's been a lot. So I just got done visiting my grandma actually, and then I found a park nearby, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna put the camera on, hit record, and I'm just gonna go for it. But anyway, let's get into what these life updates are and what I am here to talk about. So I guess I can start off with the first, I'll start off with the first big announcement. So back in, I want to say about October or November, actually November, I started looking into a paralegal program. As you guys know, I am a legal assistant. I have been at my law firm now for about 3 years, and something that I have really been thinking about more seriously is whether or not I want to go to law school and be an attorney. And I get questions a lot about if that's the career path that I'm going to choose. And to be completely honest, just for context, I'm 24 years old, and I just feel like law school is a really big step. It's a really huge commitment, and I know that logically that is the next best option for me. However, I know that it's a big commitment, and just from hearing different stories of friends and colleagues that I have who are in law school, the one thing that they have all told me, and the one thing that has been in common with all of these people that have made the commitment to go to law school, is that you need to be 100% sure about it, and you shouldn't have any doubts about it. And if I'm being completely honest, at this stage in my life, I can't say that I am 1000% or even 100% sure that I want to go down that route. But with that said, I still want to advance my career. I still want to progress and grow, of course. And I still have a very big passion for law. It's what I've been doing ever since I got out of college. And so I decided to get my paralegal certificate. I am going back to school to become a certified paralegal. So I am really, really excited for it. I enrolled in classes. I actually applied to 2 programs. I applied to the USD program, and then I applied to a community college nearby, and I actually decided to go with the community college option. I did get accepted into the program at the University of San Diego, but the tuition was just an astronomical difference, and I compared both programs. They're both ABA approved, which means that they're approved by the American Bar Association, which at the end of the day, that really is the number one thing that I was looking at when looking into paralegal programs, that they were ABA approved, because not only is it a lot cheaper, but it also gives me more flexibility in my schedule. The other thing that I really liked about going to the community college program is that it also meets in person a few times, which I really love to learn in person. When I was back in college, I really enjoyed going to class. I love school, actually. I think it's really, really fun, and I love being in that type of environment and meeting new people and networking. And I like how they offered not just a strictly online course, which I understand the appeal of doing an online class because it's definitely more flexible, especially if you are a full-time professional worker like myself. But something that I really, really want to challenge myself in the new year is to expand my network and really grow my network when it comes to my career. And I feel like being in person for my paralegal program, because it's more of like a hybrid schedule, is really nice. I think we meet like the first day of school or class, and then probably a few times throughout the semester. And it's also much later in the evening as well. So I'm still able to work full time. So I'm really excited about it. This is something that I feel like is a really good compromise for me because I'm still growing my career and I'm still getting my certificate, which, by the way, a lot of you guys ask me like professional questions on whether or not you need a certificate to be a paralegal. I've said this before in many other videos, but each state is different. In California, there's different ways that you can become a paralegal. You can do it this way and get the certificate, or you could actually work under an attorney. I think it's for 3 years and become a paralegal that way. Each law firm is also different, so I honestly think that it is best to do your own research and also just communicate with your employer on which route is best for you. But for me, this is a really nice option because I feel like LSAT prep and thinking about law school honestly stressed me out, and it just felt like I was really forcing it because a lot of people expected it out of me because I share my legal assistant journey, and I just felt like not pressure necessarily from you guys as my subscribers or even my family, but I just felt like I was pressuring myself to choose a path because it pleased everyone. And at the end of the day, law school is for me, and it shouldn't be anyone's choice, and I shouldn't be influenced by how other people think. And so I looked into getting my paralegal certificate instead because I feel like that also not only helps me grow in my career, but it's also great to add that to my resume, which is why I decided to pursue it. And I am going to be starting classes in February. So yes, I'm going to be talking and sharing about my paralegal certificate journey, and I'm going to be doing, what it's like being back in school and what it's like being in a paralegal program. So there's going to be lots of content when it comes to that. I'm really, really excited because that's something that is new to my channel that I've never done. When I was in college, I didn't have a YouTube channel, so I never showed that part of my life. YouTube came after that. So to be able to share my, academic journey in a way and going back to school as an adult is honestly pretty cool. And I'm honestly really, really, really excited for it. So yeah, my classes start in February. I am taking 2 classes next semester. I'm not taking a full class load because I feel like that would just be way too much. And I don't want to overwhelm myself and burn myself out, because I definitely struggled with burnout towards the end of, like, the tail end of this year, I would say. And I'm still, I would say, healing from that. And I'm trying to be kinder to myself. But that is the first big announcement, that I am getting my paralegal certificate and I will be going back to school officially in February in the springtime. Now, there is another announcement. So this is announcement number 2, which honestly, it goes hand in hand with the first announcement, which is that I am starting a new job. Yes, you heard that correctly. I am starting a new job. I debated on whether or not I wanted to share this too soon. And I decided that I wasn't going to tell you guys about this until things were set in stone. In the past, if you have watched some of my videos, you know that I actually left my current job and went for a different job. It didn't work out and I came back to the job that I have now. So this time around, I knew that if I wanted to find another job, or I decided to leave the current law firm I work for, I needed to be absolutely sure that this is what I wanted. Now, you're probably asking yourself now, why is she leaving? Why did she decide to take a risk again when she already left in the first place and then came back? And honestly, I don't blame you. I don't blame you for thinking that. This is a decision that I had to really, really, really think about, which is why I have honestly taken some time off YouTube, and it's been consuming a lot of my time and energy, and I haven't been able to post as consistently the past few months because I was applying for the paralegal program, making sure that everything was going smoothly with that. That application process was relatively smooth, but it was still time consuming while working full time. And then when it came to this new job, or making the decision to leave my law firm, it was, it took a lot of me to make that decision. So why am I leaving? Honestly, there are a lot of reasons that I could get into, and I feel like as I get into the new year, I might share more and more, but I feel like the most important thing that I want to communicate to you guys, I quite frankly just felt like, as much as I have learned with this law firm, as grateful as I am for my experience, I don't feel like I was in a place where I was truly growing. And I mean that because I was just not as passionate about what I was doing, honestly. And there's also a lot of other reasons that I don't want to get into for privacy reasons, and also it's really not something that I want to talk about publicly. But really the main reason is because I just felt like I was in a place where I wasn't growing anymore, and I wasn't in an environment that was productive to my growth. That was just kind of something that I had to sit with. It was definitely a long time coming. It wasn't an overnight decision. It was definitely something that I was thinking about for 4 to 6 months, honestly. And when I had those thoughts, I was like, okay, I need to sit with myself and ask myself, is this what you really want? Or is this something that you are just overthinking about and getting in your head about? And I really had to be honest with myself and ask those hard-hitting questions, because it is a risk at the end of the day. I'm leaving a very stable job. I have been in a lead position for the past 1.5 years. So it's something that I really had to be sure that this is what I wanted. However, with this new job, I'm still going to be a legal assistant, but the thing that made me, I think, excited to take this opportunity and allowed me to come to this decision is that my new job agreed to pay for my paralegal program, which is a huge, huge bonus, and honestly so amazing that they're willing to do that and pay for my education and invest in me. So I decided that I was going to accept this job. It's still going to be in the same type of law and an employment law. And my goal with this new position as well, because it's more, you know, in alignment with the type of work I want to do. I feel like in my current job right now, I was doing more administrative, I was more in the onboarding process, and I really want to push myself and explore a different side of the law and be more involved in litigation work and filing, working directly under attorneys, which I did have that experience working at my current job right now, but I just kind of felt like I was stuck and I was being pigeonholed in a certain department that I was no longer passionate about in a way. And so I decided to take matters into my own hands and go for a job that I feel like would challenge me and help me grow in my career. And also they were willing to pay for my paralegal program, which is my ultimate goal, is to become a certified paralegal. You can make more money that way as a certified paralegal as well, and you can still continue to expand and grow your knowledge, which I really, really liked. So I am going to be starting my new job in January. It's currently December 27th when I'm filming this. By the time this video goes out, which I'm not sure, it'll either be around the beginning of January, or if I have time to edit this video, maybe it'll be like right before the new year. But I'm excited. I'm really, really excited for this new chapter in my life. I feel like the fall through like winter time of this, like the past few months, have been really difficult for me because I had to get to the point where I was ready to take that next step, and I was ready to admit to myself that I wasn't happy where I was at. And even though I was making decent money and I, you know, had this position that was, you know, it sounded nice on paper, I wasn't ultimately fulfilled and I wasn't ultimately doing what I loved. And it took me several months of that feeling to finally push myself to be like, okay, we need to make a change. We can't keep living this way. And so that's why I decided to, you know, to take that risk. Now, I fully understand that this doesn't guarantee anything. You know, who really knows if it's going to work out with this next job? We never really know. And that's something that I've had to also, you know, I've been in conflict with myself, being like, am I making a mistake? Am I going to regret my decision? You know, am I being foolish to leave something so stable to do something that is outside of my comfort zone, honestly? And that is something that I am still, you know, having those doubts and thoughts about. I feel like those thoughts and anxieties are mostly because I know deep down that I'm doing something that is going to benefit me in the long term. I can't say for sure, but that is the energy and hope and intention that I am choosing to live by making this big jump and decision. So those are the two very big announcements: my paralegal certificate, and I am also starting a new job in January. I can't believe it. I do have 2 more weeks at my current job. I'm wrapping things up. It's definitely bittersweet because I've been here before, but the reason I'm leaving is a completely different reason. And I know to some of you it may seem just again, like really confusing why, but I know in my heart that this chapter for me is ending and I'm ready for the next chapter and to step into this next phase of my life. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I am glad that I was able to film this sit-down video. I also wanted to end this this video by saying 2025 is your year. Claim it. I'm putting it out there right now. I'm really excited for 2025. This past year has been really difficult in the sense of my career. I've never struggled so much with figuring out what I wanted to do, who I wanted to be, if I even wanted to go to law school. But I'm officially claiming this year, or should I say next year, because I feel like we all deserve it, and I feel like we've all been working really, really hard towards something. So whether it is a goal that you have in mind, you know, a business that you've always wanted to start, a project that you've always wanted to do, a passion that you've always wanted to get into. It could be YouTube, it could be, I don't know, learning how to, what is there? I don't know, learning how to cook or bake, whatever it is. I really hope that 2025 is your year to find your passion, find what makes you feel alive, and go for it. But with that said, I will see you guys in the new year with the New Year's content, and I love you guys very much. Bye!